Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Eagle Eye Podcast brought to you by Nissan. Reuben Frank's still out in Canton for Eric Allen's enshrinement in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. With me today, Barrett Brooks. Barrett, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm not Rube. I'm sorry. I'll do my best. No.
I appreciate you jumping in. Looking forward to hearing Rube's stories from Canton.
Can't wait.
It's got to be very cool. I talked to him a little bit yesterday. Seems like he's having a good time. EA's enjoying himself out there, which is cool. Very much deserving of the honor.
Right.
Looking forward to hearing Rube's stories when he comes back. The Eagles were on the practice field today, day 7, full pads. It was a long practice, just under 2 hours. So I want to kind of go through some observations, get your take on some of these things, Barrett. And then later on, we want to talk some Micah Parsons. Just before we stepped in the room, we saw the tweet that Micah put out requesting a trade. So kind of a crazy situation down in Dallas. And then later in the pod, I want to go through the Eagles rookies so far, what we've seen through 7 practices, where we think they might be headed. But let's start with some notes from practice today. Injury report: no Zach Bond, Devontae Smith, Nolan Smith, Terrace Marshall, EJ Jenkins. The 2 newcomers on the injury report, Mac McWilliams and Ben Van Sumeren. Tough injury for Mac McWilliams. He's been playing pretty well.
Yeah, they've been plugging him in. His second team, third teams, So, it's hard to make the club in the tub.
Mm-hmm.
And, even though he's a draft pick, we do have some really talented guys in that secondary. So we'll see where that comes.
He seems to be a Vic Fangio favorite, though.
Yes,
So looking forward to getting him back. Ben Van Sumeren had the injury. We saw it's an ankle for him, which is better than a knee. I think that was the initial fear because he had the knee injury last year. At least when we were watching it, we're like, oh, man, I hope that isn't his knee. It's an ankle, so hopefully he won't be out too long. A good bit of injury news. Andrew Makuba was a limited participant today. So he was in shorts and shells, the rest of the team in full pads, so he wasn't quite back all the way. He didn't do any team drills, but at least he's trending in the right direction. It doesn't look like he's going to miss a ton of time.
Well, I mean, he can't afford to. Right now, his position right now is one of the positions that they desperately need to fill. They need to figure out who's going to be the number one. Sidney Brown's fighting, and, he wants that position just as bad as Makuba does. Makuba, those days he did miss, it could be something that could hurt him. So he's got to get back, get full speed, and even though you're watching film, it still doesn't change what you do on the field. Get that muscle memory of it, and just get more instinctual being on the field as opposed to watching it on film.
Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully he's back in full team drill soon because, it's a big deal if he misses a lot of time. And Vic Fangio has said as much. Like, those reps they're king. So you need to get back on the field. Hopefully he'll be back. I wonder if he'll be able to play in the preseason game on Thursday.
Yeah.
That would be big. I don't know if the timing will work out for that, but it'll be good to see him.
Everybody's not like Coop, man. Cooper DeJean, he was able to come in after the 4th game, come in that 5th week and be great. We can't expect that from everybody.
Yeah. Depth chart stuff. I should mention Nick Sirianni is sick. He was supposed to do a press conference today and he couldn't do it. He didn't make it out on the football field. He didn't look great. So at least it was cooler today.
Well, he sucked it up, huh?
Did you ever have a training camp practice in weather this cool?
No.
It was 66 degrees when they started practice today.
Can't be that. I'm that get off the lawn old man. Camp wasn't like this it was never like that. In fact, I never had experience like this before October.
I had long sleeves on and pants today.
Right.
I can't remember ever wearing pants to training camp.
I'm used to getting out of practice and having to take a shower, at least go in the bathroom and wash up because it's been super hot out there. And then today, from out of nowhere, 66, 67 degrees. I'm loving it. I couldn't complain at all.
How much rain did you get at your place?
Oh, it was substantial.
So yesterday I did the pod with Ashlyn, and it was raining so hard, but I looked at the radar and it wasn't going to let up. So I was like, I'm just going to make a run for it. And everyone's watching me from the window. Man, I had to run maybe 25 feet drenched, just everything drenched. And I got halfway there, and Alex Ruane, our digital video guy, was like, you started the high step. I was like, yeah, because the whole parking lot was a puddle. I had nothing else. I was trying to not get my feet wet, and it was just a disaster.
So. Oh, you see, your boys right there, Crank. That's what we call Alex. Yeah. That's Crank. Crank makes it happen. But hey, when it's like that, man, I remember, going into work and I'm running in that same 20 yards. Yeah. It's like the longest 20 yards in the world. And I every single raindrop that could fall on my suit fell on my seat.
It's the worst.
I had to air dry with a hair dryer, hair blower.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Alex was like, I wish I would have timed you, like your 40 time. I was like a 4.3 flat yesterday.
Right.
All right. Depth chart stuff. Adoree Jackson did not get the first team reps today. It was Keely Ringo. So now it's been 4 days. Adoree out there first, 3 days Keely out there. This cornerback competition, I think, is still a long way from being figured out.
As it should be. Right now, nobody's taking hold of it, and I can remember being in the same situation those two young men are in, and you got to go out there. If you want the position, you got to take it. And I just didn't understand why nobody is taking it. You got the experience, with Jackson, but then you have Ringo. He's just got everything that marked off on a list of what you want in a player, especially a cornerback, a 6'2" cornerback. Come on now, 6'2", 6'3", 210 pounds, runs a 4.3 40. Those are tangible measurements that, measurables that you can go out there and dominate. And at times he goes out there and dominates. But then it's like, it's like all right, I'm just going to take the day off as far as the intensity. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go take the position. If he had the intensity of someone to just go out there and just bam, it's my position, there's nothing that Adoree Jackson could do about it because he's not 6'2", 6'3".
He's not. It's funny. They're like
polar opposites
from a body type perspective.
Exactly.
It was funny. I was standing because we didn't have a press conference today, so I got to watch all the players run on the field, and he ran by, and you go, wow, he is clearly it's amazing actually that he's had as good a career as he has as an outside corner.
Yeah, he's what, 180, 185,
yeah, 185, yeah,
5'9", 5'8", somewhere around there.
Probably a little taller than that, yeah. But yeah.
I mean, if he wants it, he can go out there and take it, because at this point, I don't see Keely Ringo wanting to go out there and take it.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. Keely had coming up and down. He's had an up and down camp. I thought he had an up and down day today. He got called for a DPI today, deep down the field on Jahan Dotson, and he just
who's having a pretty good camp.
He's been good. He's been pretty solid. It was a deep ball, and Keely had good positioning, and he never turned his head. It's like those, and that's clearly the coaching point there is you gotta locate the ball, right. And he has been handsy in his career, and this wasn't necessarily handsy. He kind of just ran through Dotson and the flag came out. It's yeah, they're gonna call that, especially when they don't see you turn your head and make an effort to get to the football, or at least find the football, and you run through a play. They're gonna call that every time.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta look and see where the ball, that way you can slow down and not keep going. That's what it was,
Yeah.
Receivers slowing down to get the ball. You need to turn around and get the ball. So I mean, I love the build. Like I said, I love how he's constructed as a football player. I just don't love, not necessarily effort. He gives effort, but the determination to want to be great, want to be a starter. I don't see it every single play, and it's got to be every single play.
Yeah. Linebacker today, still no Zach Bond. He's out with that back injury. Obviously no Nakobe Dean. So they're running Jahad Campbell and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. But later in practice, Smile Mondon, the other rookie, got a lot of run, and he made one of the best plays of the day. We'll get to that in a second, but I've been impressed by him as a fifth round player. I don't know if he has, he doesn't have the upside of a Jahad Campbell. I think he's kind of maxed out from a physical standpoint, but he's making some plays.
Well, I mean, that's exactly who he's going to be. He's going to be a guy that can go out there, play special teams, number one. But if you need a solid starter to come in and play, he's the guy. I made the comparison when we first drafted him of Ike Reese. I think Ike was the same guy.
Saw Ike out there today.
Yeah. Ike was a solid player when he was playing nickel on defense, solid linebacker, but he really excelled in special teams. And I can see Mondon, excelling in special teams.
Yeah, and what? Yep. Smile he's longer and taller than I kind of expected. Yeah, kind of like Ike.
Yep.
He's not as long as a Jahad Campbell or even a Zach Bond, but in my head I had him as this kind of compact linebacker, and that's not him. He's got some length to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, he's well put together to be a linebacker. He might be on just a little, a slender time, tall and slender time, but he's bulked up a little bit. I can see him being a contender on nickel situations, being out there.
If nothing else, pretty good depth at linebacker.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I want to talk about Saquon. It's funny. We probably haven't talked about Saquon enough during camp,
Right.
because it's like, yeah, we know how good.
We talked enough about him.
Yeah, like we know how good he is. He won the Offensive Player of the Year. He had 2,000 yards rushing. But for a guy who had that many touches last year, 482 with the playoffs, it's not like they're limiting him in training camp. He's been touching the ball a ton, and that was the case today. I mean, he was early in practice, like just about every ball went his way, whether it was a run or a pass. And then in the middle of practice, they were working some red zone, and he was getting feisty. There was a play where he catches the ball in front of Jihad Campbell, and like Jihad's momentum kind of like led to a tackle, like an actual tackle, which you're not supposed to tackle. It's all thud.
Right.
And it was funny because Saquon like got up a little gimpy, and everyone's holding their breath, but he stays out there, punches in a touchdown, talking smack to Trotter at that point. Then he punched in a 2-point conversion, still talking smack. I went through a list with you before we started of the guys he talked smack to today: Jeremiah Trotter, Reed Blankenship, Cooper DeJean, Moro Ojima, Jalen Carter. I'm missing like everyone.
Bro, that's the starting defense.
He was on one today. It was fun to watch. And I wonder how much of it was like a concerted effort, him saying, hey, I want to take over a practice today, and I want everyone to know about it. And that's what it felt like.
Well, sometimes it's like that. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be from the coach saying, hey, man, I need you to make sure this practice goes well or something like that. Because some coaches do that.
Yeah.
So sometimes coaches say, hey, I need you to step it up a little bit. I think it was more so him saying, all right, you know what? I want you guys not to forget who I am.
It felt like
you know
that,
what I'm saying?
Man.
Don't forget who I am and what I've accomplished in my life and my career. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday was not just something that was a fairy tale event. I am still that dude. I am still the number one offensive player in the NFL. Give me an opportunity and I'll take it. So I want you guys, you see me every day laughing and, haha and hee. I'm still that guy. So I think it might have been that more so than anything. And sometimes, as a veteran player, a player that, that cares about what's going on, will have to get feisty sometimes just to get everybody else on the same page. Hey, this is not just given to us. We got to go out there and earn it. So I think that might have been a situation.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like that. It felt like he was just kind of asserting his will and saying something to everybody. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to be the alpha.
Mm-hmm.
You want to show everybody he was the alpha.
Yeah. And, it's something we talked about before camp. Without Brandon Graham, without CJ Gardner-Johnson, who was going to bring the juice to practice, Saquon did today.
Right.
You need guys like that. You need someone, and maybe, today's a cooler day. Guys weren't dragging as much, but sometimes on like, a 95-degree day, everyone's a little tired. You need someone who has that kind of never-ending supply of energy out there.
Right. That's exactly what, you got to do it. Just like Rube in his office. He's that guy. Rube, just messing with you, man. Love you, bro. Can't wait for you to get back, man. Can't wait for you to get back.
I mentioned Smile Mondon. Great play on Saquon Barkley, a wheel route down the left sideline in his hip pocket the whole way. It's a chance for Saquon to like put an exclamation point on his incredible practice. He thinks he's going to catch it, and Mondon just gets a hand in there and bats it, 30 yards downfield. That is a heck of a play.
Well, number one, that just goes to show, the severity of this offense, of them trying to get Saquon the ball on a wheel route. Number two, it just goes to show how, Mondon, why they drafted him when they drafted him. I really think that he's been one of those guys that didn't really, to talk about him, outside of that Georgia locker room. But inside that Georgia locker room, you can ask anybody. He was one guy that they respected because of his, playing ability. That's one thing he does very, very well, is cover in those linebacker position. He can cover well. Running backs, tight ends, put him out on the slot. He was feasible in that Georgia defense. So they had him doing a lot of stuff, and that's why his name, often was brought up by his players that are played around him. I'm glad they're giving him an opportunity to go out there and play. I saw the last couple of days, they've been giving him a little more opportunity to play with the twos, every once in a while they put him in with the ones, but he's going to take advantage of it. That's just the type of player he is.
Today was the most work he's gotten with the ones, and he looked pretty good. I've been impressed by him. Yeah, I don't think he's really competing for a starting job, but it's nice to see him get some run. He deserves it. Meanwhile, Campbell had a wheel route early in practice, got beat by Will Shipley, clean beat. I mean, that's a tough assignment for anyone, but you like to see Campbell stay a little closer to him.
Mm-hmm.
Shipley kind of burned him a little bit, and Jalen kind of a perfect pass into the arms of Shipley. Overall, it was like I thought it was a good back and forth between the offense and defense today. I thought it was pretty even. And you have to remember the offense by the end of it didn't have Devontae Smith or AJ Brown, who got a bunch of reps off. We'll see if there's an injury or what that was. But by the end of practice, without Devontae and AJ, the offense is going to look a little different.
Absolutely. Just Smitty's presence not being out there, you can put somebody else in the box, help slow down that run a little bit. But the dynamics truly change when you have every weapon you have out there. And plus, you go look at, Jahad Campbell. He's just learning how it is to be an NFL football player, and it's going to take him a little while to step into it. That's why at this point, him and Trotter tit for tat as far as who's going to be on the field.
Mm-hmm.
You Trot, man, he's showing me that he wants to be out there, and he's going in and grabbing the position, even though it's hard to grab it and keep hold of it when you have a guy that's 6'3", 235 pounds, running the way he runs, as athletic as he is, plus being a first-round draft choice is almost unfair. But, that's the nature of how it is in the NFL. But, Jahad is a good player, and Trot to show me he's a damn good player also.
Yeah. A couple of guys on the line who played well today. Moro Ojima again. Again. He had a strip sack today. You're not supposed to touch. You're not supposed to touch the football. I don't even think he necessarily meant to, but he came through the line so hard, and Jalen was right there, and he knocked the ball out of his hand, which I don't even know if it was really his fault. I think he just looked up, and the football was right there, so he hit it.
Right.
But it's it just shows you how dominant he's been.
Reactionary.
Yeah, and a lot of it is coming against Tyler Steen. So I don't know what to make of that. It's one of those the team has to try to sort that out, right? Is it that Ojima is playing this well, or is it that the weak link of the offensive line is allowing him to do this? I don't know.
Weak link is definitely. I would say that the better part of it is the weak link being Steen. Steen, he hasn't been really pushed to be a number two. He's been given a position, and he hasn't done really enough, I think, to stay at that starting position, even though he has all the talent in the world too. He has all the tangible physique, awareness, strength. He has all that stuff, but I guess because it's being given to him, he didn't have to really work hard for it. So,
he lost it last year.
Right. And
it wasn't really his fault. He got hurt.
They keep bringing in people, though. That's the problem. If people, they bring in people because they doubt if you're going to be ready.
I don't even know if that's true, though, because I don't know if they thought about Becton being a guard when they signed him last year. I think they just signed him as a swing tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stoutland had a little idea, and Landon missed some time.
Right.
So then they put him in there at left guard. And then the second Steen got hurt on day 3, they put Becton in. I think that's the difference this year. I don't know how different Steen is. I think he's gotten better, I'm sure, with some more time. But they don't have a Becton this year. I don't think they have an option that's as good as Becton was last year. If it's
because you got Matt Pryor,
he's okay
camp, and then you look Kenyon Green.
Yeah, who's finally getting some second team reps, but at left guard.
Right. I'm like, he hasn't shown me anything. He's not jumped off the field. You got to make yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I went through the same situation. They brought in Steve Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Steve Wallace is a perennial Pro Bowl player, was in San Fran with Ray Rhodes. And this is, my first couple of years in the league. I had Ray Rhodes as my coach. He was in San Fran with them. And they brought him in to start over me. I was like, no, there's no way he's starting over me. And I fought, scratched, clawed, did whatever it take, to be the starter, and I went in the starting position. I don't see that same drive for these guys going to be that starter and you got to have camp. There shouldn't be a day where a writer like yourself or an analyst like myself not saying, oh man, did you see Tyler Steen? He was really working his ass off.
I think he's had some good days, but
you can't just have good days. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's not he's just stacking them. Yeah.
Every single day, busting your hiney every single day. You got to do that, man. This is something that's not given to you. It's not, it's not even deserved. You're given this opportunity. and you didn't, you're here and you got to take advantage of it.
Yeah. Aziz Ojulari got some first team reps today, had a sack, a sack, a quote unquote sack. The first time I've seen a little juice from him. So that's good to see. It's been a quiet camp so far, but I liked what I saw from him. The only other note I had was early in practice, Quinyon Mitchell and AJ Brown, it's been the most fun battle of camp.
Yep.
AJ's so good at using his body to create space, and he did that to Q. I thought Quinyon had great coverage on him on an in-breaking route, but AJ just like boxed him out, got his hands to the football, and kind of like shielded Q, and then after the play, pushed Quinyon away. But then on the very next play, Q read the pass perfectly, broke on it, and got a pass breakup. So it's like these two are just having a really fun battle.
No question, and I mean, it's surprising you say that because AJ is so great at using his body. That's why a lot of these deep passes by, Jalen get caught. Because number one, he's running, he looks up in the air, and he never shoots his hands early. He has some of the latest hands I've ever seen from a receiver. So when the ball finally gets to him, he kind of leans back, body-to-body contact, and then as soon as the ball gets there, he gets his hands up. Those late hands are incredible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Being able to do
that's something he does very well.
Very well. So, he's leaning back, and first of all, it's going to be either pass interference if he doesn't catch it, because he's leaning back and you have to go through his body to get the ball because it's over his shoulder. And then he has the late hands. So when they throw their hands up, that's all in the way. Then he puts it up there. He's the master of doing that. But just like you say with Quinyon is just so good as his technique. He's so technique sound. He has no wasted movement in his back pedal, in his change of direction.
He's so balanced.
Yeah, I mean,
he's exactly, a very balanced player.
Yep. So, I mean, you're talking about two of the better players in the NFL at their proven positions, going at it every day. Iron sharpen iron is
we've heard
say it all the time, but I mean, it is really, really evident, when the way those two go at each other.
I wrote something today that I'm proud of, and I think it's a good metaphor for Quinyon versus AJ. I wrote that last year Quinyon was like a puppy kind of nipping at the big dog. It felt like that, right? He's talking trash. He's he's irritating him. But this year it's just two big dogs fighting every day.
Not a doubt.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch that matchup evolve a little bit.
Yep. I mean, it's a great matchup, two great players, and I mean it now. At first, I was saying it was a Padawan, saying a young Padawan. It's a Star Wars reference.
Yeah.
A young Padawan, saying, and you got the master there. Well, now, the Padawan has now become a master also, you know what I'm saying? So it's
a high level competition.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Definitely.
Did you ever play center?
I did play center. Towards the end of my career, I had to play all three positions: guard, center, and tackle.
I'm asking that because Trevor Keegan has been cross training at center. He's gotten a lot of reps.
That, yes.
And he ended up kind of being a little bit of the second team center because Cam Jurgens is still limited. So they're getting Drew Kendall up there with the first team. So they needed someone to take those second team center reps. And Brett Toth was playing first team left guard, filling in for Landon a little bit.
That guy has 1,000 lives, doesn't he? He's
Brett Toth. Yeah.
He's just like a cat. Instead of 9 lives, he has like 20 lives.
And we've talked about some of the bad Brett Toth snaps, but man, today Trevor Keegan really struggled to snap the ball. It felt like every snap in that second team offense. I actually give Tanner McKee a ton of credit, being a 6'6" guy, getting low to get the ball every time. And there was one that it just rolled to him and the play was dead. It's got to be really tough if you're Trevor Keegan trying to learn a new position. You're playing with the second team, which means you've got some really good rushers coming at you. You're trying to get out of your stance, but it was a rough day for him.
I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. In order to stay in the league, sometimes you have to cross perform at a lot of different positions, and you got to learn how to do that stuff. And sometimes it's on the fly. Keegan, he's got to make it happen because they're still drafting guys to take his position. A guy from Texas and another guy from Michigan come to take his position. So he's got to adapt. He's got to go out there. And if I was him after practice, I'd be snapping.
He was
100 balls after practice.
Man, it's funny you say that because after practice, he was back there with Dorian Thompson-Robinson and with Kyle McCord kind of those two were taking turns, but he was snapping. Yeah, he must have snapped 50 to 100 balls after practice.
You know, and that's what it takes, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I played an extra 3 or 4 years in the NFL because doing the little things as far as snapping. Hey, man, you know, like for instance, you know, you got a 46-man roster on game day. And if there's a linebacker that's hurt or a receiver that's hurt, they need to bring another guy, dress another guy to, you know, just because this other guy's hurt. So when you dress this extra guy, you got to not dress another guy.
Yeah.
So with me, I play guard, center, and tackle. So they would just dress me, you know, and I could play all the positions. Now, if another person got hurt, if two offensive linemen get hurt, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
It never happened, but you know, I mean, I went in and played guard one time. In fact, I think against Cleveland, I played guard, center, and tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Came in, I guard got hurt. I came in for the guard. Center got hurt. I went to center. Guard came in, came back to play. You know what I'm saying? He was hurt. He came back to play. And then I went to, I mean, it was crazy.
I mean, these days you're allowed 8 linemen dressed on game day.
But if they need an extra linebacker, they got to sit somebody down.
Yeah.
You got to just 2 offensive linemen. So that means 7 guys.
Yeah. Well, a lot. So the nice thing that the rule change a few years ago, now you're allowed to have 1 extra active guy, but it has to be with 8 active offensive linemen.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you're allowed to keep 8 offensive linemen up, which is what most teams do now. Because why wouldn't you? But yeah, you're still limited. I mean, 3 backups in a game isn't a ton.
Right. I mean, so I mean, I prolonged my career, but Keegan has to he has to get better at that. You know, especially what you see the size of the guys that are coming, Hilton, all those guys.
Yeah,
they're huge.
Yeah. He's an undersized
guy. Yeah, he's on the smaller side.
All right, let's take a little break. On the other side, I want to talk a little bit about the Micah Parsons news and what it might mean for the Eagles and the division.
You deserve a car that thrills you, a car that puts goosebumps on your goosebumps. At Nissan, we've got everything from turbocharged SUVs to 100% electric vehicles that'll make your heart beat faster. Experience the thrill for yourself and shop your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today.
Eagles fans, be a part of the Birds Takeover in Kansas City with NBC Sports Philadelphia and Philly Sports Trips. Includes optional airfare, hotel, an exclusive pep rally, all-inclusive tailgate, tickets to the game, and more. Book your Eagles ultimate fan experience today. All right, Barrett, right before we came in here, this Micah Parsons tweet came out. It's, I mean, too long didn't read, right? It's long, a lot of words in here. The gist of it is he wants to trade. He doesn't want to play in Dallas anymore.
I don't want to be here.
Yeah, that's what he said. I don't want to be here. Now, we've already seen reports that the Cowboys have no intention of trading him. Duh. He's one of the best players in the league, but man, have they screwed this up.
And when did they have it? I mean, Jerry Jones is the gift that keeps on giving. He never
It's
gives us a
unbelievable.
dull moment. You know, and we love the fact that he keeps this disdain in his team all the time. You know, I mean, Jerry Jones, he did the same thing to Emmitt Smith. He had to hold out. You look at what he did to his quarterback last year. I mean, come on now. At what point do you become a better business person as far as the relationships with your players? I mean, that's it's not really about that. It's about the relationship with his players. Because one thing about Micah Parsons, even though you give him the money that he deserves, which would mean that he will be the top paid player in the NFL that's not a quarterback. And that's the only thing he's seeing right now is being the top paid player that's not a quarterback. What would you say? You know, he's going to keep receipts. He's going to keep all this that he's going through right now, and he's going to internalize it. He's going to think about that all the time. So even when you give him the money, he'll still be a disgruntled employee. You know, and that's just who Micah Parsons is. He'll use that just to be spiteful. You know, so I think he's kind of ruining the relationship, even though he's going to pay him because he's going to have to pay him. But you don't want to
see
have
what
that type of
happens, man.
relationship.
Like it seems like it's gotten really ugly, and it's also avoidable.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is Jerry being Jerry, and it's crazy to me. I know Micah Parsons. Like there have been whispers like sometimes he can be a little bit much.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Right.
He's incredible. He's one of the best defensive players,
top 3
in the league. Yeah, I mean, you have Myles Garrett ahead of him, fine. You have TJ Watt ahead of him, fine. Maybe he's him or Max Crosby, whatever. Like he's one of the best defensive players overall in the league, especially at his position. this would never happen if it was the Eagles.
And isn't that a luxury that we have that
Yeah.
when you look at, how Howie Roseman and how the front office and what it means to them to have that type of culture in that locker room, a gold standard in that locker room, they wouldn't allow this to happen. And if they did, it wouldn't be to the degree of what's going on there. You see what happened with Dallas Goedert and how they were able to bring him back with no hard feelings and anything like that because they understand that. And plus, we understand also how to get guys under fair market value. We might pay you a little early, and it may seem like they're breaking the bank at that time, but like 2 weeks after they sign a player, they're already, fifth, 5 or 6 down as far as being highest paid because they signed them so early. So they set the market lower because they know the intent is to go higher later on. So we don't wait that long. Why does Jerry wait that long when he knows he has the best player? Dak was one of the best players at his position when they didn't sign him. Sign him early so you don't have to worry about that. Same thing with Micah Parsons. He is one of the best players at his position.
Yeah.
Why not sign him early? Because you know you're going to sign him.
Yeah, it's crazy. Even to have a player like that on a 5th-year option, like he doesn't want to be on that option.
Right.
You don't want him on that option because it's a giant lump sum in 1 year for cap purposes. Doesn't make any sense. It's just, and then you have Jerry talking about the injuries publicly, and that was something Micah brought up in his long statement. And yeah, he should feel disrespected by that. Like a football player is putting his body on the line playing, and they get paid well for that line of work, but like to openly say, I don't know how he might not play every game. Like, yeah, they're playing football, Jerry. It's to me, it's just complete malpractice.
It's so disrespectful. Number one, and I understand. I mean, I really totally understand what Jerry is thinking right now.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's he thinking?
This my daggone team, and I do what I want to do when I want to do it, how I want to do it on my team. Cowboys is my organization. That star is my star. So you don't like it, you don't have to be here. That's what he's thinking. That's what he's thinking.
Maybe it's crazy though that they've let it get to this point.
Right.
Now you look around the division, you have Terry McLaurin, you have Micah Parsons. Like there's some real turmoil with the other top contenders in the NFC East, and the Eagles have like zero drama. Like, is there anything there's like not even a little bit of drama?
And it should be Eagles. Though. In all actuality, it should be. We are the Super Bowl champs.
Yeah.
And when you come from being a Super Bowl champ, everybody comes in and wants a part of your story. They want a part of what made you great. So you usually get plucked and taken away. And plus you get, coaches taken away. But a big thing is players start thinking, you know what? I'm better than what I was last year. Why don't I get the money now? And I think they kind of stopped that with C.J. Garner-Johnson, getting him out of there because they know they're going to have to pay.
Yeah, they avoided it. And unpopular move.
Yep, very
right.
unpopular.
But it would have been probably more unpopular if it ends up in a year being like a big to do, right?
Exactly.
They got ahead of it. Of Micah Parsons and Terry McLaurin, who do you think is more likely to be traded?
I think McLaurin will be more likely to be traded. And it's not because how good of a player he is. I think age has a big factor on why.
Yeah, I mean, Micah just turned 26.
Yeah, 26-year-old. And this is his first contract. This is his first money grab.
Yeah.
McLaurin already had his first money grab. He's already got paid once. And what he understands is he's got a small amount of time to maximize his money-making potential. So he can't just take anything. He knows he has to take full advantage of right now because he's hot right now. And he was the best weapon for that young quarterback last year. So he has to have a sense of who he is as a player and what he deserves as a player. And he is the number one in that locker room at the receiver position. So he wants to get paid accordingly. So, I mean, I don't doubt that he might get traded because of that. And he's when he does sign a contract and later this year, he's going to be 30 years old. And anytime you're 30 years old, your better days are behind you from a organization standpoint, even though he's shown.
Unless you're Lane Johnson and then the rules don't apply.
Right. Like Lane Johnson. Yeah. I don't know what he's drinking over there. He's found the fountain of youth somewhere. But yeah, I mean, they just, he hasn't shown any signs of declining. He's still balling. Yeah. And they just don't respect that he will be worth the money that they're trying to pay. What he's want, like $30 million?
Yeah, I don't know what his demands are. With Micah, I think we know what they are. He wants to be the top paid player non-quarterback in the league,
Yep.
and he deserves that. So, yeah, and like the Cowboys only hurt themselves by waiting. They could have had this done a while ago. They could have had it done after his third year.
Right.
You know, it's how shocked would you be if Jalen Carter has a great season and they don't pay him after year 3?
I don't even think that.
Right? It's like it doesn't even
that,
come into your thought process.
Right.
Now, maybe they'll have trouble next offseason because they might have to pay Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, and that could be a lot. But it's we've gotten so used to the way Howie operates that when a team doesn't operate like that, it seems just silly. Like,
Absolutely.
What are you doing?
Like, I mean,
why would you let it happen?
I mean, 2 dominant players. Like this year, I expect Nolan Smith and Carter to have double-digit sacks. I expect that, but I also expect for them to want top dollar going forward.
They should, yeah.
You know, so I mean, the good always is trailed by bad, but it's how you look at it. And I mean, you know, Howie Roseman right now is looking at all the options and you know, just ready to pounce whenever he needs to pounce.
Yeah, it's crazy. Good for the Eagles.
Yep.
I mean, more chaos in the division. The Eagles get to just sit back and go to practice every day and get better.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
That Dallas Star.
It's unbelievable. All right. Let's take another little break. And then on the other side, I want to go through the Eagles draft picks, kind of give a status update, what we've seen from them at training camp and what our expectations are for them going forward. Mark your calendars. We're headed down the shore for a Phillies watch party. Join us in Sea Isle on August 12th to watch the Phillies face the Reds with raffles, special guests, and more. All right, Barrett, I have in front of me the list of 10 draft picks. We'll go through them in order, get your takes on them so far in practice, and then we'll kind of figure out what their role might be for this season. Number 1 is Jahad Campbell, and we were like even surprised to see him out there from day one. It's amazing. Today is the first day that we ever thought he might be out on the field because Vic Fangio initially said August he'd be back. Today's August 1st.
Right.
He's done a lot already.
He's done a lot. He's practiced hard. I mean, day one, first practice, he's been out there. So it's kind of like, was he supposed to be out? and I know right now there are 29. He was picked number 30 or 31.
31.
He was picked number 31. So there's 30 teams right now that just got it all wrong. Jahad Campbell was supposed to be.
So I'm sure some of them got it right.
Right. A top 10. He was supposed to be a top 10 pick. Top 10 pick. Look at what he was doing on field, you know, what he produced. And because of shoulder surgery, and, you know, of course the Eagles did their due diligence, but they saw what his really outcome was going to be. So, I mean, he knew he was going to play. They knew he was going to play. And he's back before they even thought he was going to play. So, I mean, that's just great. Yeah. He's going to be a starter early in the season. And, you know, he's going to be a good player.
Yeah, I think so. And we'll have to see it. But I've been so impressed by him early on. And not just his play, but we've talked about it on this pod before. Like his aggression, it might even be over the line at times. Like today, he kind of like tackles Saquon and Saquon gets up limping. And I'm looking like, all right, rein the kid in a little bit. You don't want him to hurt Saquon Barkley, but I love the edge he plays with.
Right. I mean, he's there, but we're talking about a position where he has to have that nasty attitude, that nasty disposition. He's filling all the blanks on what I think a linebacker should be, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and then on day 6 of camp, he got some second team reps as an off-ball, or not an off-ball, as an on-ball edge rusher, outside linebacker. I don't know where that's going to come in, but it maybe eventually, not until Nakobe Dean is healthy, and maybe they bring Nakobe in a little bit and get him on the, but he has that in his toolbox a little bit. And curious to see where that goes as a rookie. Maybe he doesn't get that far as a rookie, but I think he has the ability.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense when you don't have to put Bond. You just leave Bond in this, regular position, and then if you don't go into that 4 to a 5 down look, when they go from having 4 down offensive linemen, then they want to put in that 5th guy just to be a run stopper on 1st and 2nd down. They slide him down, then they move him, move him on the line. Then I could see him going and being maybe a pass rusher or something like that from that vantage point. But
it is fun to think about. Like, what if they walk out there with 3 off ball, right?
Right.
And then you have the ability to show up like a 4-man front and then walk up Bond or Campbell. Like you have that ability to do some fun
Exactly.
things, and that's why like getting versatile pieces for Vic Fangio is a lot of fun because you know he's going to maximize whatever they can do.
Cooper DeJean. All right, you take
Sure.
a defensive lineman off the field, or you bring one on and
Mhm.
Coop goes back to safety. You know, those are all things, you know, versatile athletes can play. And Coop can play safety, slot corner, outside, wherever you want him to play. And then you have with both guys, both Bond and Campbell, on the line, off the line, and blitzing ability. So, yeah, that's definitely that's a lot that, you know, you have offensive coordinators worried about when playing the Eagles.
Speaking of versatility, Andrew Makuba, second-round pick, still a little banged up, not back full yet. Looks like he's trending in the right direction. But safety, obviously, but they were also getting him some dime looks. So he was like the sixth defensive back on the field in the dime package, and then eventually that went to Mac McWilliams, who we'll talk about. But even if he isn't the starter, like say he misses too much time, they don't feel comfortable starting him, and they say, you know, Cooper's going to be the guy in base, and then we're going to bring in Sidney Brown. I still think Makuba's going to play no matter what.
And that's his guy. You know, he drafted him. That's his guy. Of course, he has a lot of trust that he's going to be, well, not a lot of trust, but he has a lot of say so on whether this guy's going to play or not. Makuba, you know, he second round pick. He's going to have an opportunity. Sidney Brown, he's got to play, man. He's got to make it happen, man. He's got to show and take the position. But that versatility, you know, that coach has right now to people playing versatile positions. Like you could put Makuba back at safety, deep safety. You can put him in the box. You can put him out there on a wide receiver. He's that good of a talent. And to be so young, man, be a rookie, and they're trusting him at these different positions, you know, I mean, it's going to bode well for him because he could be very versatile. Swiss Army knife in that defense.
All right, let's get the year guy, fourth-round pick, Ty Robinson. I know you're a big fan of Ty. What do you like most about him?
He's just one that's going to hit you in the mouth. You know, he's a no-nonsense, all right, I'm going through you to wherever the ball is. And I love players like that. He's not flashy. He goes in with a plan. He's either going to whoop you, he's going to swim you, he's going to out-muscle you. But either way it goes, he's going to make something happen. He's going to blow something up. Whether it's penetration on a run play or on a pass play, pushing the pocket and pressing the pocket, he's going to get something done. And I think he's going to be versatile enough to play every down in this defense.
Yeah, I don't think he will right away, but he'll mix in. He had a pass bat at the line of scrimmage today, which is something he did a lot at Nebraska. And then I found it interesting when they did one-on-ones today, he lined up as a defensive end.
I saw a lot of that from the defensive ends / tackles.
Yes. Well, I mean, you look at his tape from Nebraska, he played every position on the line. And because he's so big, I didn't think the Eagles would do that. I thought they would just leave him at like a 3-tech or a 4-eye and just let him play inside. But I don't know. Like they lined him up as an edge today, and he had one really nice rep against Cameron Williams, and then he had one where Cam actually had a nice rep against him. But just the fact that they're trying that and playing around with it is interesting to me.
I saw Morrow Jomo doing the same thing. So both guys are getting those type of reps.
Yeah.
I think Robinson is strong enough and young enough that, you know, he could make something happen out there, you know, especially on run downs, first down when we have a nickel, you know, look out there. You move him out there and have him, you know, with the versatility of being on the outside, and then you might have Davis in there and, you know, Morrow, and then one of those defensive ends.
What's it like for a tackle to have very different body types? So like say you have one rep and for instance, you're out there and it's, I don't know, Jalix Hunt. And then the next rep you look up and it's Ty Robinson. Obviously, you know, like you got to respect the power more with the big guy, but is it hard to go from like one to the next?
Especially when you do stuff that, you know, you have your set and you have an offensive set that you know, pass blocking set that you want to do every single time. Well, you can't do it every single time against, you know, different type of athletes that you're blocking. But a guy like Ty Robinson, I want a jump set, but he's quick enough that he can swim you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then you got Jalix Hunt. You want to get to that speed and get to a block and just wait for him to come and then jump him. Those are all things, you know, you got to work through in your head. Like, because if you used to go on this guy and this guy comes out, you got to change up your whole mindset on how you're going to block that guy. So that's definitely something that, you know, tackles worry about, guards worry about it, you know. I mean, can you imagine going from Ty Robinson to Carter? two opposite extremes.
Yeah.
But just two guys who want to kick your butt. You know what I'm saying? That's just that's tough as a offensive lineman to block those type of guys, and that's they vary so much in their techniques also.
I don't want to get off the rails too much, but one-on-ones, offensive line, defensive line, do offensive linemen like them?
I like them because I was a pass blocking offensive lineman.
Okay.
Some guys are run blockers. Like Landon Dixon probably hates it.
Yeah.
Because he wants to maul people, run and
he
just
wants to
maul
dictate.
people. Yeah, he wants to maul people. Yeah. Lane probably hates it because he wants to maul people.
I don't think Lane cares. I think Lane's just like whatever.
Jordan Mailata, he loves one-on-ones also. Mm-hmm. But then you got guys, that truly hate one-on-ones. You're like, oh man, here we go. Because number one, you just pass blocking, you pass well,
that's the thing. It's like on a normal play, the defensive end or defensive tackle, they at least have to honor the run,
inside or outside.
Yeah, you gotta stay disciplined. Whereas on the one-on-one, you just gotta attack. Right, you don't have to worry about the run.
And they're pass blocking, they know it's just pass, so they're coming off with their ears pinned back. And then you don't have the guard that's usually blocking somebody right there. So it's a little bit of space you have.
True.
But right there, you just no space. It's just like a chasm that you're trying to block. When you got this guy rushing off I mean, one-on-one, I enjoyed it, but there were times I'm like, man, here we go, man. This is unrealistic, Can you imagine going against James Harrison?
Yeah, that sounds awful. That's a long day.
Every single practice. It was crazy. Yeah.
Mac McWilliams seems like a favorite of Vic Fangio. Fangio talked about his instincts, and I can't imagine Vic brings up instincts about a rookie all that often.
Well, it's not like, he's a fan favorite because he drafted him. I think it's more so because the kid is out there playing.
Yeah.
And when I broke down film him, I called a couple of his games when he was in college.
UCF or UAB?
UCF.
Uh-huh.
And when I called him, he was more so a guy that, he was physical at the point of attack. You know what I'm saying? Because he lacked the speed to run with guys. I don't see that lack of speed right now.
He looks fast to me.
He's flying around, so I don't know what he did to get from where he is now to, and got better than he was back then. But he looks quick. He looks explosive, and you can see the speed. He was already, a quicker player, and he was an aggressive player. But now speed, aggressiveness, he has, explosiveness. He can get off. I mean, he is playing well, and he showed me another gear that I didn't think he had. So, kudos to him for really getting himself ready for camp and ready to play in the NFL because he looks quick. He can run with everybody on the field. He's had a pretty good camp.
Yeah. And I mentioned Makuba got a lot of those dime reps. Once he got hurt, McWilliams was the guy taking a lot of those dime reps.
Yeah.
So, I've been impressed by him, especially him playing the nickel. It wasn't his primary position in college, and he looks really natural at it.
He was outside. So I like it. And what he did show that he can come up and play the run in college. I'm anxious to see what he can do in the NFL, but I mean, he's becoming a complete player out there. I see why Vic is really high on him.
Let's actually skip Smile Mondin because I felt like we really talked about him quite a bit. We've talked about him quite a bit before. How about Drew Kendall, the center? He's been getting, sneaking in there with some first team reps with Cam Jurgens, still limited. He's looked okay, obviously undersized, but I feel like he's already farther along than Dylan McMahon was last year. Absolutely. Another day 3 center.
Yeah, well, you look at Dylan McMahon. I mean, he's in LA right now, but you look at Kendall's been in there. He's not scared. He's not afraid. He's going there. He's calling the calls, and you could tell, when he is in there because the offensive line become a lot more, expressive as far as who's the mic and who they're calling. Everybody, because you got a young rookie in there, they want to make sure everybody knows and where it's supposed to go. So you see them, you see them, they're like overcorrecting, over exaggerating who has what, because they want to make sure the rookie knows. But then once that ball is snapped, he's holding his own. He's doing a great job of playing, man. So I see why they're trusting him. And I could definitely see the guys trying to protect him. But he's done a great job in everything he's done out there.
6th round now, Kyle McCord. He's been fine, but the veteran Dorian Thompson-Robinson, to me, has made more plays. And maybe that's just natural. He has the experience just in the league, and that's probably benefiting him right now. But
a little more speed as far as getting out of trouble also.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, he's fast. I don't know. It's still really early, though.
Yeah,
so
really
a quarterback, they have a lot to digest. I'm looking forward to watching McCord, especially once he gets in the games.
That's what I'm waiting for, because I think that's where he becomes a better player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, leaving Ohio State, you know, then going to Syracuse. It was a lot on his plate, man. But he goes in, you know, resurrects his career, gets it going in the right direction, gets drafted here, 4 quarterbacks. He has a great opportunity of making this team, you know, as a third quarterback, you know, whatever they're going to do at the quarterback position. But, you know, I can't wait to see him in a game where he can go out there and be comfortable, get the ball out to his targets. You know, I think he's going to do a real good job of that.
Let's talk about Miles Hinton and Cameron Williams together. The 2 tackles, 6th-round tackles. They've mostly Hinton on the left side, mostly Williams on the right. Hinton clearly like ahead of him. I think he's also been getting some second-team reps at left tackle when Kendall Lamb. They've been kind of splitting the second-team reps. I think there's something really there with Hinton.
Well, I think he's shown a little more. He's a little more aggressive at the point of the attack than Williams. I mean, it seems like he has a lot more to learn. He has a lot more to see how intense he can make it at the point of attack. He kind of, you know, getting out of the set, he gets out of set, but then once the guy gets to you, that's when it's got to click. You got to fight, and it's either fight or flight. And sometimes I see him when he's not fighting, which is making him look bad because he's getting pressed too much, you know, so he's getting pushed back too much. And on the other side, you know, sometimes he gives it to you, sometimes it's go, but at least he's fighting, you know, every single play. And I'm not saying Williams not fighting. Yeah. I'm just saying he has to turn it up at the point of attack.
Yeah, he definitely, like, I think there are tools there, but we're seeing why he was a day 3 pick and then maybe go as high as he thought he was going to go.
Right.
Yeah, but I think there's a chance maybe Cameron Williams comes down with a sprained ankle in late August. Wouldn't that make sense? I mean, because there are tools there. I don't know if he's going to help them as a rookie. So
no, he won't help him as a rookie, but at least, you know, Hinton might get an opportunity to.
Hinton, to me, like, still has an outside chance to be a swing tackle. And that's a really high bar because they have Kendall Lamb, who's a 10-year vet. They have Matt Pryor, who's played. They have Darian Kennard, who they've had on the roster for a couple years.
I like Kennard too.
Yeah, I think there's still a chance Hinton could be the swing tackle.
Yep.
And then the last guy, Antoine Powell-Ryland. I wish I had something like. I haven't really noticed him much.
Well,
which isn't a good thing to talk about with an edge player, but it's early. So, you know, maybe he'll come alive in the games.
Well, I mean, that'd be his best opportunity is to come alive in the games. When you're that far down the depth chart, it's hard to really get an opportunity to really play the way you need to play. He has a lot of promise. He has that quick twitch. He got explosive. He can get off the ball. But you need to get it in circumstances where he can go out there and really show that he can play this game. And I think that's only going to come in the preseason when he gets out of play. So I'm looking forward. This is probably one of the first times I'm really looking forward to seeing, you know, the preseason football for the Eagles, because there's a lot of guys that are going to be out there with positions that haven't been locked up yet. It's up in the air.
That is the fun thing is like, there are a lot of questions about this team, not about how good they're going to be. I think we know they're going to be good, but certain positions up for grabs and
starting positions.
Yeah. So we'll see how much those guys play. The Eagles went live today, by the way, with the just with the third team. They don't let the 1s or 2s go live. There was some tackling. It was fun to watch. It's always so jarring when you're watching practice. You start off with, you know, no pads, then they're in shorts and shells and they're going thud, and it's like, okay, that's. But then the first time you see someone actually get tackled, it's like oh.
Yeah, God. There we go.
It's just like it's shocking to see it.
They're here to do that. Yeah.
All right, that was fun, man.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you. And I'm not rude. Not trying to be rude. Rube, you got your place. Same bad time, same bad place next week. All right.
I can't wait to hear everything from the Hall of Fame. I know he's having a good time. He sent me a photo today of you know how they put like I've actually never been to the Hall of Fame, but they have like the displays, and they had a display with game jerseys from Devontae Smith and Reed Blankenship from the Super Bowl.
Get out of here.
I got to show Reed I'm sure he knows it's there, but it's kind of cool. Undrafted kid from Middle Tennessee State. His jersey is now in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
That is crazy.
It's pretty cool.
That is crazy, man. That's definitely something. You know, I can't wait to hear the stories, man. I know he's going to have a bunch of them, too.
Should be fun. All right, Eagles have an off day Saturday, back at practice Sunday. Thanks to Barrett Brooks for joining us. If you enjoy the Eagle Eye podcast, please rate and subscribe wherever you get your pods. If you're watching on YouTube, click the like button and subscribe there as well. That's it. This has been Eagle Eye presented by Nissan. We'll talk to you soon.